Pyongyang says it will send troops to Ukraine within a month.
Here's a summary of the article.
In response to that, Pyongyang announced early this week that it will be sending troops in the form of a military engineering unit to support Russian forces on the ground in the Donetsk region. The active participation of North Korean combat troops raises the specter of escalation to the conflict, especially as commentators think it will not go well for Pyongyang's sappers on the battlefield. Pentagon spokesperson Pat Ryder said during a briefing on June 25 that North Korean troops were effectively being sent to their slaughter and questioned the wisdom of the deployment. Beijing can indirectly transfer military equipment to Moscow through Pyongyang without falling foul of Western sanctions. Essentially, all the military equipment that is delivered from North Korea was developed for the North Koreans by the Chinese. So, there is no problem for the Chinese to assist North Koreans and then North Koreans to make trade with Russia and benefit from this both financially and in terms of military development. Michael Carpenter, a member of the U.S. National Security Council, commented, the day after Putin and Kim signed their defense treaty, that the coalition that Putin was building between Russia, North Korea, Iran and Syria stood in stark contrast to the group of 50 nations standing beside Ukraine in the Ramstein Defense Contact Group and the approximately 100 countries that supported the UN Charter principles in the Global Peace Summit held in Switzerland on June 15 and 16.
This post received a score of 32,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Last week, we will help defend each other if anyone attacks us. This week, fuck, nobody is attacking us. Fine, we'll attack you.
In fascist Russia, fighting back is attacking. Zaksha.
Our usernames are oddly close.
Indeed they are. Want to be enemies?
Negative. Question mark.
I was here. I witnessed history in the making.
I'm going to forget all about this in another 3 minutes, but it's nice to be a part of something.
I too was here for something.
As 3 was I.
Probably chained to Russian tanks so they don't just vanish on their best chance to get away from a life of starvation and parasites.
This implies the starved-out soldiers could even find the strength to run away.
Seeing NK soldiers standing next to their counterparts is quite eye-opening. Somebody has not been eating their vitamins and it ain't Anastasia the hunk.
The US and SK specifically select their tallest troops in these units to man the DMZ. There is a height difference, but this picture is not a reflection of reality.
If this actually happens, I wonder how many North Koreans will use it as an avenue of escape from North Korea. Most of the other routes are extremely risky and involve sneaking through various parts of China, but getting shipped to Ukraine opens up a lot more options.
I'm more interested in a battle-hardened regime of soldiers returning to North Korea with views of the outside and disillusionment towards the government. Edit. Over 20 people have commented some variation of, these people aren't coming back. If that's your first thought, we're good. The general audience already knows.
NK probably isn't expecting their soldiers to come back tbh.
They're not. Consider that the North Korean army has not had any foreign combat deployments since at least the 1960s, and their training is basically notional, and mostly done to any meaningful extent for the sake of the propaganda cameras to get some footage of the brave troops training to fight the US invaders. With the exception of some special units, the North Korean military is an absolute joke that relies on what are basically Zerg rush tactics to overwhelm their enemy, using 1970s Soviet equipment and battle doctrines.
They won't even use their military. They're just going to use this to clean out their prisons like Russia.
Greater than clean out their prisons. I can't imagine North Korean prisons are filled with hardened murderers though. Sure, maybe some, but I imagine their prisons filled with people who just didn't love Kim enough, and that there is a grade A NK felony.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.